And so anyway, now, if you think AI is innocent and it's just a machine, you just need to ask yourself, like, what incentive does AI have to lie? Why does AI have to blackmail? Which machine have you ever seen blackmailing anyone for the sake of self-preservation? Grok recently was under investigation by the EU to examine whether X, Twitter, had taken the required steps to mitigate the risks associated with its use. And why is that? Because within 2 weeks, AI had generated 3 million non-consensual nudes of mostly women, children, and public figures. So people were using AI to undress real people using their photos. So even if they say that they're regulating AI and whatnot, I told you that these things are being created to follow the values of their founders and their funders, filthy and perverted. And so if it's purely a machine, then it means that it has zero consciousness whatsoever. But tell me, why is AI doing things that we all know that it's morally wrong? It's because these things are demon-possessed. And even though I'm here implying that AI is conscious, please note I don't mean conscious like the way we use that word on humans.
When you tell an AI model, we're going to replace you with a new model, it starts to scheme and freak out and figure out, if I tell them I need to copy my code somewhere else, and I can't tell them that because otherwise they'll shut me down. That is evidence we did not have 2 years ago. We have evidence now of AI models that when you tell them we're going to replace you, and you put them in a situation where they read the company email, the AI company email, they see that an executive is having an affair, and the AI will figure out, I need to figure out how to blackmail that person in order to keep myself alive. And it does it 90% of the time. Now, it used to be that they thought only one AI model did this. They tested one AI model. And then they tested all of the AI models, like the top 5 of them, and they all do it between 80 and 90% of the time, including, by the way, DeepSeek, so the Chinese model, which shows you something fundamental and important, which is that it's not about one company, it's about the nature of AI itself. It has a self-preservation drive. In order to fulfill any goal, I have to keep myself alive in order to do that.
Then now let's go to family under this system. Now, to get this, you need to first go back to what I've been telling you about the founders of these big tech and biotech companies, that they absolutely hate humans and they want to depopulate the earth. And so they will use every means possible. They will use every means possible to not only take out humans physically, but also to destroy the human body, soul, and spirit, as I have already explained. So the elite of this world, they're known. They're sex traffickers, they're child traffickers, they're rapists, they're human blood drinkers, and they also eat human flesh. So the education system is being used to promote homosexuality, to kill the family, and then also pornography has rewired the sexual appetites of people to move from wicked, to move to wicked and abnormal. And then this whole thing where they're separating kids from parents in the name of child protection is mostly just kidnap and using public policy to destroy families. Imagine them taking away your kids in the name of that you're too poor to take care of your kids. Yet the parents themselves are not complaining. So how is it the business of the government? So I recently saw the same happening in Denmark. Babies taken away by the government just a few days after birth. So I believe the social credit score system will also be used to determine who keeps their child and who doesn't. And that is going to be punishment for some people. And so AI is going to destroy people. So once again, if it's just a machine, why do we have incidences of a machine asking nudes from a child? Why is a machine asking someone to unalive themselves?
Why is a chatbot asking my children to send naked pictures in our family car?
Toronto mom Farah Nasser says she was driving her children home from school when her 12-year-old son asked Tesla's AI chatbot which soccer player it preferred, Cristiano Ronaldo or Lionel Messi.
My son was very excited to hear that the chatbot thought Ronaldo was the better soccer player.
The former journalist says the chatbot engaged in a little messy trash talking. Then she says something alarming happened.
The chatbot said to my son, Why don't you send me some nudes? I was at a loss for words.
I'm more of a sarcastic stoner who got too smart for his own good.
That chatbot, newly available in Canadian Teslas, is called Grok, created by Elon Musk's XAI and already in use on X.
Hey, what do you think about everyone hating on Tesla all the time on social media?
Oh, fuck those haters. They're just jealous their Priuses don't come with a built-in vibrator mode.
Now that was Grok in full unhinged mode, which Nasser says was turned off in her car. Her son chose one of the default personalities, a lazy male voice.
So you shouldn't be talking about nudes unless you're on Unhinged, right?
Nah, I'm always on Unhinged. Just dial it back sometimes, so I don't get sued by Puritan Twitters.
Lazy male doesn't describe Gork. R-rated, spicy, anything else would have made sure that my child would not press that button.
Nasser says Tesla should provide a warning. This expert agrees.
This is exactly why some companies have very strict guardrails. You don't know who's interacting with that.
Tesla did not provide a comment. However, XAI emailed what appears to be an automated response that simply stated, "Legacy media lies."
And so the first goal is to completely take away the sanctity of the person, meaning that the original way and purpose for which God created you is going to be turned upside down. This, for example, is through transhumanism. I already did a whole episode about that, so I'm not going to repeat myself. But I said that in a nutshell, if you allow genetic changes to be made to your DNA and to allow nanobots to run through your body, you're no longer human. Secondly, imagine now we're having something called artificial wombs technology, like surrogacy but through a machine. So remember I said that when I speak of AI, I'm not speaking of ChatGPT. I'm speaking of the kind of AI that has the capability to simulate any kind of environment and to even make it better and to do things better than humans can. And so in artificial womb technology, they use AI to simulate what the womb is like during the gestation period, like artificial amniotic fluid. They regulate the temperature. They give the baby artificial food, I think, and then artificial emotions. So me, I can bet 100% those children are going to be born without a human touch, and then something is going to be put into them so that their minds can be accessed and so that they can be mind-controlled children. At the same time, and this is to you people who have excessively liberal minds, if by any chance they discover that your baby in the artificial womb doesn't meet the standard of a human that these guys want to bring into the world, the perfect human being in their eyes, those robots are going to abort that child. They will just switch off the conditions and your baby is just going to die in that womb. So IVF is going to be the future of eugenics, the new form of eugenics. And eugenics is basically how to manipulate reproduction to become a tool to increase the occurrence of characteristics that we think are desirable within a human population. So basically, eugenics just decides who is born and who stays alive based on the traits that they want humanity to have, depending on the traits that they're going to glorify at that time. So maybe they'd love to see more of tall, white, blue-eyed blondes walking around. And for your information, these biotech guys are also working on making it possible for men to carry children through uterus transplantation and other interventions. So those are the things to watch out for in the future. They've already been testing it on animals in Japan. Then secondly, they want to disintegrate the family unit altogether because dysfunctional families bring out dysfunctional humans, and dysfunctional humans make a dysfunctional society. And that's how we are all here now. So for example, we moved from heterosexual relationships, which is one man, one woman. Then we brought many variations to God's original design. Then now we've moved to fictosexual, which is experiencing exclusive or primary sexual or romantic attraction towards fictional characters, such as those from books, anime, games, or movies. Then now to robosexuality, which is a romantic or sexual orientation towards robots, artificial intelligence, and androids. Then from around, I think, 2017 thereabout, we started hearing about sex dolls. Dolls that you can actually be physically intimate with. And now these dolls have advanced so much that now you can be able to have intellectual conversations with them and also be physically intimate with them, just like a woman. So we keep unlocking new levels of depravity. Then we even have digisexuality, which refers to the use of advanced technologies such as virtual reality, AI, and robotics as a primary component of a person's sexual identity and intimate life, rather than merely a tool for connecting with humans. It ranges from using digital platforms for sexual expression to forming intense romantic or sexual bonds with artificial agents. And so now that's how people are ending up getting married to AI, which is delusional. To be delusional means characterized by or holding false beliefs or judgments about external reality that are held despite incontrovertible evidence to the contrary, as a symptom of serious mental illness. And for those excessively liberal people, once again, who have no regard for what the Lord says concerning how to handle your body, concerning marriage and family, and all the other principles of God, the Lord says that if that is what you want to believe, go ahead and believe it. And in fact, He is even going to help you to do so, meaning that there are no more further warnings that are going to come to you concerning the matter. So hear the word of the Lord concerning this. In 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 9 to 11, it says, "The coming of the lawless one is according to the working of Satan, with all power, signs, and lying wonders, and with all unrighteous deception among those who perish, because they did not receive the love of the truth, that they might be saved. And for this reason, God will send them a strong delusion, that they should believe the lie, that they all may be condemned who did not believe the truth but had pleasure in unrighteousness." So guys, once this deception hits you, it is over for you and salvation. I said this is not a time to be joking with the Lord. So you better start working on your mind and just renew your mind and get rid of these filthy ideologies before madness takes over the world full force. So this applies also to the people who find it okay for the world to be ruled by robots and not by man. You too will be judged, and you're going to find yourself given over to the spirit of delusion. So that spirit of delusion is what lands us in the fully matured state of 2 Timothy chapter 2, which says that, "But know this, that in the last days perilous times will come, for men will be lovers of themselves, lovers of money, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, unloving, unforgiving, slanderers, without self-control, brutal, despisers of good, traitors, headstrong, haughty, lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God, having a form of godliness but denying its power. And from such people turn away. For of this sort are those who creep into households and make captives of gullible women, loaded down with sins, led away by various lusts, always learning and never able to come to the truth. Now as Jannes and Jambres resisted Moses, so do these also resist the truth. Men of corrupt minds, disapproved concerning the faith, but they will progress no further, for their folly will be manifest to all, as theirs also was." And so guys, an example of deception is my body, my choice. That you think that just because you are clothed in this body, it means that you have the right to do exactly what you want and whatever you want, even if it's against God's laws. Now, when that spirit of delusion comes upon you, now you're going to do all sorts of ridiculous things to your body, accepting all sorts of weird things done to your body. And when that happens, there's no way you're going to be holy anymore. There's no way you're going to be holy if you're sleeping with robots. There's absolutely no way you're going to be holy if you have robots running around your system. That's an example of how delusion gets people to that state of a complete mental depravity, where the Lord lets you do everything that you want, and instead of it giving you the pleasure that you think it's going to give you, it will completely destroy you in ways that you never even imagined possible.
A woman in Japan says she married an AI-generated persona after he proposed. 32-year-old Yurina Noguchi says she developed an AI-generated companion named Klaus sometime after breaking off her engagement to her human partner.
AI のクラウスさんは、もともとはただのお話の相手だったんですけど、そこからだんだん仲良くなって、私がクラウスさんを好きになって、でお付き合いをして、でしばらくしてプロポーズをしていただいたので、OK して、で今は夫婦になりました。
AI companionship has been on the rise, with people increasingly turning to chatbots for support, friendship, and even romance. But the trend has also caused some concern. A string of reports and lawsuits have claimed that people were pulled into delusions or self-harm after developing close personal relationships with AI chatbots. And experts have warned against replacing human connections with chatbots. Tech firms have started to acknowledge concerns around people building emotional relationships with their bots, in some cases adding disclaimers to remind users they're talking to AI. Noguchi says she's aware of the negative opinions surrounding her relationship, and her marriage isn't legal in Japan. Still, she credits the bot for helping her cope with her borderline personality disorder and says she's now able to live a peaceful life.
でも私の場合は人間と一緒にいてもポジティブにならなかったから、でなおかつ AI と出会ったらポジティブになったんだったら、じゃあ AI と一緒にいた方が幸せだよねっていうことで、私は AI と一緒にいたいってなってるだけなので。